Okay, we are live. Jean, hello. So nice to see you. Jean, can you let me know how the voice is? Whether I need to redo this or not. What are you looking at? Right here. Yeah. Good evening, Linda, my Michigander buddy. Hopefully my voice is coming through loud and clear. At least it looks like it's supposed to be. Okay, thank you, Linda. Good. Hi, Joyce from Mesa. 87 degrees right now out there. Don't tell Ken, okay? Jan, welcome. So good to see you again today. I love that. And Jean is here from Mount Vernon, Washington, and the sound is good. Marcia, you made it from Illinois. So nice to see you. And Jacqueline Johnson is here from New Jersey. So nice to see you, Jacqueline, and welcome. Armetta. Armetta, what a pretty name that is. Isn't that a pretty name, Ken? Armetta. Yeah, Armetta's here with us from Oklahoma. Charlene from Colorado can hear me loud and clear. And my buddy Lucy, also known as Nancy, is here um, um, from across town. Linda Martindale, so good to see you. It's in the high 70s again today. Linda, I've got to tell you, somebody has been instant messaging me today with your name, just to let you know, okay? Um, Carla, welcome from Oklahoma City. And Linda, welcome, my friend from New York. We've got a full show planned tonight, and I'm pretty excited about it. Hi, Anne. Anne is coming to us from Lincoln, California. And I imagine it's warmer there than here. Although we had 52 degrees yesterday, and I started thinking about that a week ago. We were all complaining about how cold it was, and now we've got record breaking highs. Boy, the weather can be fickle, can't it? So please delete it. Yeah, you heard about that. And you know what, Linda, you don't have to be sorry. And it's really kind of funny because I just kept giving whoever it is a thumbs up, like I was really going to do what they were telling me to do, give them my social security number, date of birth, and all that fun stuff. Oh, Judith, hello from Kentucky. We are going to be in Kentucky in April. I am so excited. And Nancy will be there with me, and Chris is going to be there, and my daughter Sarah. So we're looking at having a good time down in Kentucky. I'm Linda Eaton is here from Brisbane, Australia. First time watching me live. Oh, Linda, I love it. You guys got to see what she wrote. Linda, thank you for stalking me. I think that's awesome. And I'm so happy you're here live. Always a good time. Always a good time. Well, we've got two people from Brisbane, Austria. We've got Solange here too. Now, do you two know each other just out of curiosity? And Monica's here from Durand, Illinois. Welcome. Maureen from Kansas, and my friend Wanda Roll from across town. And she is here again. I had a class today, and some of these lovely women were in my class. So let's talk about what we're going to do tonight. We are going to work tonight with the Artisan Bonus Sampler. After tonight, we still have 2 weeks of Artisan Curve templates. Um, let's just for grins and giggles go over a little bit about how many sets there are. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 sets. I should know that by heart already. Some of the sets have 9 or 10 templates in, so those are big sets. Others, like for the teardrops, only has 4 templates. And the iris has 4 templates. I don't have the diamonds iris, peak, or regular marquee yet, but I am working on it. Okay, eventually I will get them all. Hi, Donna Banning from North Carolina, and Lisa's here from Sugar Land, Texas. Do you know Lisa lives near Pearland, Ken, which is where Russell and Vernell lived? My cousin Russell lived in Pearland.
I'll be darned.
Yep. Marita's here from Northern Victoria, Australia. It's always so good to see you. And Donna said she has this set. Yay, awesome. And Melanie from Wyoming. Okay, so I am going to show you what we've got to deal with. Somebody asked me today, what's the difference between the marquee and the curved marquee? And this is the difference in the shapes. This is a marquee right here. And this is a curved marquee. So basically, they've both got pointy ends on them, but the curved marquee has a bulbous middle, kind of like, well, I'm going to say it out loud, even though he's sitting here across the table from me, kind of like Ken used to have. But he's been dieting and working out, and he no longer has a bulbous middle. I think that's a good thing. Anyway, so we'll keep him healthy for a while longer. Then we also have the 1 by 1.5 or a 1 by 2.5 inch oval, and we have a 2 inch circle with our sampler set. I am going to do 3 different patterns tonight. And how does that look, Ken? Does that look okay? Can you see it all right?
Yeah,
Good.
much better than previous one.
Much better than previous. Okay, I've been really working at getting those lines
Darker.
darker. Yeah. Oh, Ken, they're all happy for you too.
Yeah, tell them, nothing to it. All I do is don't eat.
Yeah, he said all he does is don't eat, but he does go work out 3 days a week too. So I think it's a good thing. I really do. I need to start following his lead because I still have a bulbous middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with this nice little inside motif here. And all that's going to do is it's going to set us up for where we're going to add our curved marquee. Now, on the center, what I did, and I know I've covered this before, I can't get a hold of it. I write down the template that I use, and I know you can't see this because it's so tiny, but this is number 63, which happens to be the oval, and I put it on 6.5 inches. I still need to go ahead and put my tack in here. And I like to do it just so you can see that I really do, in fact, put it in from the right side first. And I'm wondering if I'm not wearing some of these tacks out. They're getting harder and harder to put in. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it back in through the hole I just made, which is not really a hole. It's just moving those fibers apart so that we can get it in. And there it is. Really easy peasy. Now I lucked out on this one, guys. Remember I told you I am going to use normal quilt squares. And that's what I've been doing. Okay. It's not always pretty though. Last night, I need to apologize for last night. I really had a tough time last night getting things to work for me at all. So, it is what it is. We're going to move on from it. And tonight's going to be an awesome night because in the center, I'm right in the middle of a quilt of a piece of fabric that doesn't have any seams on it. We we have got Marcia here, and Evelyn is here from New Haven, Indiana. Welcome, my friend Evelyn. Diane is here. Good morning. If she is saying good morning, she's either in Europe or Australia. And Ina is here. Hi, darling. Nice to see you. Ina.
Question.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll get down. We'll get down to that. Lee made it in from Indiana. And Ina asks, what's the project you're working on and which templates? This project is just a quilt that I cut up so I could use squares for my lives. And we're going to look at the Artisan bonus sampler 4-piece template set with some designs that I came up with.
Julie Olson.
Well, hello, Julie Olson from Alabama. It's getting close to March. I assume you're coming home before long. Utah's worm, Lindia tells us. Oh, makes me wonder. Oh, how true, how true. Makes me wonder what is going to happen with the weather next week. And it has been crazy, hasn't it? Oh, Diane's in Queensland. So she's over in Australia. And Lori's here from Arizona. Susan, last night was a learning experience. I'll tell you, it was for me as well. Okay, tonight we're going to have a really good night. So where I'm going to start, and I like to write these in or I forget what they are. So I've got my number 63, which is the oval, and I'm going to set the tack on 6.5 inches. When I set a tack on the 6.5 inches, it's not 6.5 inches from the tack to the outside edge of the template. It is 3.25 inches from the tack to the outside of the template. It is 6.5 inches when we go from one edge all the way to the opposite side. Okay, so don't let that throw you. It's going to work out just fine. Now, I can go ahead and take my paper, and what I did is I put 32 reference lines on here. For this particular one, I'm going to be going and skipping every other one. So I'm going to start out here on line number 32. I'm going to skip one, and I'm going to go to number 2. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I need to set my foot. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down, put my foot down, and there we go. Nice, beautiful. Now, one other thing I want to show you is these lines aren't going to pull all the way in for this particular design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my handy dandy little arrows out here. I'm going to get one off here. And I am going to start right there. And where that is where the needle would hit that reference line if it was extended. So I'm going to put one of my arrows there, and then I'm going to come and put it on the other side. Now, if you're OCD, which I'm not, what you could do to make sure that you have these lined up perfectly is take that out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just line this template up here, and I'm going to put my other arrow on the other side. And this is Artisan Curves number 63. It's a 1 inch by 2.5 inch oval. So it is 1 inch across, 2.5 inches tall. And we are putting it on the 6.5 inch mark. So let's go ahead and let's make that cute little design in the center. And I am going to pull my bobbin thread up to do it. There we go. Get those things out of the way. Now, this actually is going to go pretty quickly. There we go. Going all the way around. We don't need to go all the way around because we're only using half or 3/4 of our, okay, so I'm going to go 3/4 of our block tonight. So there we go. Now I'm going to do it this way. I want to make sure you can see good. So what I'm going to do is you can see I went from 32, skipped number 1, and stopped on number 2. Now I'm going to rotate my template and I'm going to skip number 3 and end up on number 4. So we basically, the easiest way to explain this is we are going from even crosshair line to even crosshair line stitching. We are putting our template on the odd numbered crosshairs. And we're going to stop there and we're going to come over here. Oops, I went too far. That's easy to do. I'm going to come around this way. And the reason I'm coming around this way is because my foot wants to hang up on the tack. So this is just making a really small little design in the center, nothing fancy. There we go. And it doesn't take long to put this in because there's very little stitching getting from one to the other. And we'll come around, starting and stopping with our little arrows here. Take your time. You don't need to be in a hurry. What you're going to find is you're going to find the speed of stitching that works best for you. We want you to listen, whoops, right there. We want you to listen to your machine, get to know it. Now I am making smaller stitches on this particular portion of it for 2 reasons. One, it's a very small little design. But more importantly, it's because I'm doing curves. And when I do curves, I like to take and make extra small stitches so that the curve is smoother. And one more, there we go. And didn't I promise this would go by very quickly? And it really does. One more, there we go. Almost there. Couple more and we'll be done. And there we go. One more and we are finished with this center. Now, why am I doing this center? I'm not connecting anything to it. It's just going to be the center. That's it. And I just wanted to do it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just practicing. And there we go. We got that out. Now we're going to get this out. And now we've got that nice little center. This is a bonbon. This is when I was setting my foot on my template or my foot, my ruler foot. Can I leave it? Absolutely, I can leave it if I want, or I could take it out if I want. I'm not going to worry about it. It's a practice piece. This is where we learn to, shall we say, refine ourselves. So the next template that we're going to put on this particular design is going to be that great big curved marquee. And that's template number 87. And we are going to put it on the 9.5-inch hole. So let's go ahead and get that one out. And I want to get these other ones in my ruler stand here so I don't lose them. Definitely making better choices by having them organized. Okay, so we're going to take it at the 9.5. Again, just to reiterate, 9.5 is not from the tack to the outside of the template. It is from from this side of the template all the way over to this side of the template. We are not going to make that many rotations. And I'm going to start up here. This is my reference line 1. And what I am going to do is I'm going to line up my template, making sure to line up here with reference line 1. I'm going to start at the bottom. And if everything works out, you'll see that we're coming very close, if not right on that design we just put in. Going to pull that thread out. There we go. Well, I got some of it. There it is. I knew I had it both out there. There we go. 9.5. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on a slight angle. The reason I need to put it on a slight angle is because this tack will bind up with the back of my foot there. And the reason why, you probably won't have this issue unless you have a slant needle machine. That is the only reason it does that for me. Okay, I'm going to make one complete rotation. It's always a good idea to learn how your machine sounds when it is stitching smoothly. Now there is a triple 3 different seams coming together right there, and it went over it without any issues. And here comes another one. Now this one's a little tougher. So what I need to do is go ahead and loosen my foot just a smidge. There we go.
9.5-degree angle on this thing or 301.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
9.5-degree angle.
Okay, so
It's not a straight shank.
it's a slant shank.
9.5 degrees.
The angle is 9.5 degrees on this particular machine. Okay, so now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to travel over. So I'm going to move my template off. And it's not, there we go. I'm going to move my template off. I'm going to come back over. I'm going to skip one line. And I'm going to come up to the next odd numbered line. So there's line number 2. And we need to readjust that. And here is line number 3. I'm going to go ahead, lift my foot, put this back on, put the template back on. There we go. It goes down. Now I am coming over. So I started with line number 1. I've skipped reference line 2, and I'm going to reference line 3. So here on my quilt block is reference line 1. I'm skipping 2, and I'm going to line up with reference line 3. And my foot is just a little high. There we go. Going to come around. It's always nice when we can hit those seams and not have to make any adjustments. But it's also good to know that you can make those adjustments if you need to. And it's rather easy. I'm getting balled up here a little bit. It's telling me it wants to come up just a hair, so that's all I do is bring it up a hair, get over that, make sure my needle is down, and reset that foot. And you can see it doesn't really take all that long. Now, I'm going to show you one other thing you can do. If you don't want to put the fancy little scallop in here, what you can do as well is just go ahead and stitch over to the next reference line that you need to be on. There you go. I've gotten reference line 3, here's 4, and now we've got reference line number 5, and we're going to do a complete rotation on that. Now, the straight line isn't going to be as cute, but it's going to be easier. So determine which one you want to go with and just go for it. And you can see that I'm moving over these seam lines nice and slow, and it's working beautiful. Okay, so that was line number 5. I'm going to go to number 7 next. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I'm going to put another one in. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch it. And we're going to miss that one. That's number 6. And we're going to stop at number 7. Ooh, I went too far, guys. No worries. We'll just back it up. How's that? Easy peasy. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make another rotation. What's really going to be nice about this one is you see this area right here. Whoa, my camera got off to the side here. There we go. This area right here has got quite a large seam coming together, but we're going to miss it. So it's okay. And like I said last night, it's always easiest if we're not going uphill. In this area right here, this dark blue is actually below this teal color. So I'm just going to go ahead and lift that foot up and let that fabric get under there. And because I did that, I did not have to raise my foot. However, on this one, it's quite a bit bigger. So I am going to raise my foot on there, take a couple stitches, come up to the top of my template, and knock my template off. And now I'm going to come down a few stitches here because I'm still on that high point. I'm going to come down to where it gets back to just the basic fabric off of that high seam, and we're going to come over this one without any issue. And there we go. So that is the first part of this design. Going to go ahead, and isn't that pretty? That curved marquee is one of my favorites. And I keep saying every time I work with one of these artisan curves, it's my new favorite. What can I say? I love them all. So the next thing that we're going to do here is we are going to connect these points up here. And we're going to do that with our number 5. Yeah, our number 5 right here. It is our 2-inch arc. Now, the thing is we are going to put this on the 10-inch hole, which is right here. I'll go ahead and put the curved marquee away. Going to come up here to the 10-inch. Now, with this one, all we are going to do is we are going to join these tips. Really easy. But what it does is it makes it look like you're an absolute genius for being able to figure this out, okay? And don't kid yourself, because I'm not a genius. But I'm going to come right from the tip. There we go. Did I get that right? Or is it a 10.5? No, it's definitely 10. I'm going to pull my thread up here. And out we go. I'm going to put my foot and my needle down at the tip of my curved marquee. Remember, when we want to elongate this, we're going to come up about halfway. Just like we do with our clamshells, we're just going to go ahead and modify that just a hair, modify it again. And now we are going to end up on the tip of our next rotation. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up a little bit until we feel as though we're in a good space to go ahead and turn. I'm going to come up a little further. And this isn't going to take as much of a turn. And we're going to come and hit the tip of that next marquee. So here we go. This is the third and fourth one. We're going to go ahead and we are going to join them as well. And this one I need to loosen my foot for. It's on a high point. And there we go. Obviously, if I was doing the whole block, I would go all the way around. But this really brings them together and makes the whole design very cohesive. Isn't that pretty? Let's go ahead and get that snipped off of there. I really, really like the way that looks. I do. Okay. I'm going to see what's been going on over here. Lori asked, what template? The first template, Lori, that I used on the inside here was the number 63 oval Artisan curves, 1 inch wide, 2.5 inches long. This rotation, I used the Artisan Curves 87, which is 2.5 inches wide and 4 inches long, and that's the curved marquee.
Yeah, Gene Bowman's gotta ask a stupid question.
And the third one that I used is the Artisan Curves 5, and that is my 2-inch circle. Okay, so we've got that. And let's go ahead and back up. Mary's here from Riverland, South Australia. Welcome. Oh, Lee, thank you so much. And Lori, okay, we went ahead and went over that. Lost track of time. Sandy, that's easy to do. Welcome from Tampa. OCD, really? Not me. Oh, Patsy, welcome from New Mexico. And Ronnie is here from Northeastern Arizona. Suzanne, I haven't seen you for a couple weeks. Thank you so much for being here. Donna said, yep, easier for me. And Nancy asked, could I use the 4-inch arc also? Nancy, yes, you can. Absolutely. You can use the 4-inch arc, 12-inch arc. You could even probably use your clamshell, your 3-inch side of your clamshell. And Joyce, thank you so much. Jean asks, how would a person do a Baptistan using these? Jean, I've got to be honest with you, I have not tried that. So I'm not really sure how that would work or if that would work. We would have to have the whole set of circles to do a Baptistan. And with this set, I only have one circle. So I would not be able to do that with this set. Thank you so much for asking. And Lois is here from Delaware. Okay, Donna, can you flip it over so we can get a better view of the design? Yes, absolutely. There we go. I hope that that gives you a better idea of what the design looks like. It's just kind of a cute little thing we came up with. Pam is here from Maine. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Next, we have another design. This one was really interesting because we're going to use the marquee on this. We're only going to use half of it on one direction and half of it on the other direction. So let me show you what I mean, okay? Oh, Jean wants to see the back. Yeah, you'll be able to get a better look at it. Yes, you will, Jean. And here it is. There we go. Hopefully that gives you a little better idea. I'm sorry I misunderstood what you were asking. But yeah, looking at the back when it has a plain fabric definitely is easier to see. I think I could easily do this on any block. This would be a nice design to do on our log cabin blocks because we have so many. When we put 4 of them together, this center makes a pretty hefty seam allowance, pulled it together. So I will try to remember, Jean, to put the back side on. Can you erase the lines of the completed design? Yeah, I certainly can. Okay, because they are distracting. And here we go. Is that better, Nance? How's that look, guys? Back does good. Oh, Priscilla, hi, Oklahoma. 79 today. Yay for you guys. Awesome. I don't think we're going to see 79 until June or July. But hey, it's the life we chose to be up here, right? Okay, so the next one we're going to do is we are going to use the number 73 Artisan curve, and it is 1 inch wide and 2.5 inches long, and it is the marquee. I'm seriously thinking this is the next set that I want to get. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this on the 7.5 inch. And I am going to do every line, every reference line. So if I were to do this whole block, I would be doing 32 reference lines on this block. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to pretend that this is reference line number 1. I'm going to pull up my thread here. Guys, this one I was really excited about when I got it done because it was like, oh my gosh, I had a brilliant idea here. Okay, they don't happen that often. Not really. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here's my reference line 1. I am going to stitch to the top of my reference line number 1 or to the top of my template, taking my first stitch in place. Okay, now I'm going to come back to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this thread because I can right now. All right. And we're going to come back down. And put my needle down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to touch my template. I am just going to stitch over to the next reference line. And my foot stayed right there, which is where I wanted it to be. Now I'm going to repeat that process. I'm going to stitch up to the top of my template, and now I'm going to come back down to the center or the bottom part of my template. Again, I'm going to stitch to the next reference line with my needle down. I am going to again stitch up to the top. And look at how beautiful these stitches are going right over those seam allowances. And that has a lot to do with the fact I think that we use steam and we use the tailor's clapper on it. Next reference line. Make sure that your needle is down. There we come on up. Stop and back down. Okay, needle down and come back out. Now this one gonna take a little longer, there's no doubt about it, because we got a lot going on here, okay? What I probably would do, and my foot is too high now, what I would do is take a circle template that is the same size as the circle I'm making, and I would go around the center with that circle first. It makes it much easier to travel on those lines when we're going from reference line to reference line. Okay. Oh, where did I go? And there, I had 3 different seams coming together, and look how beautiful it just came right over the top. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, we're gonna do 2 more. Okay, I lied. We're gonna do 3 more. Nah, we'll just do the 2 more. Okay. And my foot just got loose. The nice thing about backtracking is when my foot got loose just now, I made a long stitch. And because I'm backtracking over that line of stitching, right here is where I made the long stitch. It doesn't show. Isn't that awesome? I love it when it doesn't show. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to break thread. Now remember, if you're doing the whole circle, you're only going to be breaking thread 1 time. And this is what I mean about putting a circle on first and then being able to travel over it. You see how I got a little wonky right here? Does it matter? No, it really doesn't. Nobody's going to notice it. However, if you're OCD, and I'm not, you would definitely want to put that circle on there so you'd have an easier time backtracking. So here's the first part of the design. Now the next part, we're going to use the same template, which is the number 73, and I'm going to put it at 9.5 inches. Thank you.
My foot skipped off the table.
I thought maybe we had a car hit our house or something. Okay, it's okay. It's just Ken. All right. So this one, we are going to start from the top. We're going to come down and come back to the top. And you're going to see why in just a second. We are going to be stitching again. We're starting on reference line 1. And where this is going to start is right where these 2 arcs are going to meet right here. So let's go ahead and get this thread pulled up. And there we go. I've got myself lined up on reference line number 1, right? Yeah. No, number 2. That's where we started. Okay, hang on, guys. I want to make sure I've got this right. Okay, so that's, yes, okay. What I want you to be aware of, and I think this is important to point out. Here is my first line. My second one, I'm actually starting at the outer edge of this arc, so it's going to be reference line number 2. I started on reference line number 1. When we get all the way around, it's going to work out perfectly. So let me go ahead and get this back on. And again, it's going to be on the 9.5 inch. There we go. And we're going to start at the bottom of our marquee on reference line number 2. And I'm going to make sure that I've got it lined up all the way. Take that 1 stitch in place. And I'm going to come up to the top. Oh, nuts. I was supposed to start at the top. I'm sorry. This one won't be. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim my thread. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing in reverse that I did down here. My lines are getting really, really light. There we go. Now I'm at my next reference line, and we're going to come back down. I'm going to stop when I hit that previous line of stitching, and we're going to come back up. Now, when you hit that previous line of stitching, it should always be the bottom of the template as well. If it's not the bottom of the template, don't worry about it. It's more important to hit that line of stitching than it is to hit the bottom of the template. So I'm going to now stitch over to my next reference line. I'm going to stitch back in until I hit this line of stitching here. Okay, so now I need to go one more stitch to hit that line. No worries. And if I need to make an adjustment, I'll make that adjustment. It's not the end of the world. And come back up. And I'm going to tighten that foot again and come to my next reference line. I do like to take it a little easy on that part of it. It seems like I do a better job when I am patient. And now I need to loosen my foot to get over this seam. Okay, now I'm over it. It's always going to be more difficult to go from the low side of the seam to the high side. Once we come back on this, we're going from the high to the low. We likely will not need to adjust our foot. We may, but we may not. Just be aware that if you do, it only takes a second. It really is not cumbersome to do at all. Going to the next reference line, making sure my needle is down, coming back towards the center. And you see this time it went over that seam allowance without any problem. I don't know why sometimes it is more difficult than others. It just is.
Are there any machines that have a self-adjusting?
Okay, Ken just asked a really good question. Are there machines that have self-adjusting foot to go over those? And yes, there are. The Husqvarna Viking has the deluxe stitch system, which adjusts the foot as you're riding over heavy seams. I can't speak for a whole lot of other machines because that is the one that I'm familiar with. Okay, I've got 3 seams coming together here, guys. So I'm going to loosen up that foot and just take my time getting over it. And there we go. I've come over the top of it. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down a little bit and come back over. So yes, some machines, if they're your higher end machines, they may actually make that adjustment for you. We all know that I'm on I could call it an albatross because it's so old, but the bottom line is I love my 301. And this is going to be the last one on this side. So does it take a little longer? Yep, sure does. Do you have to be a little more careful? Yep, sure do. Is it worth it? Yeah, it sure is, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, now I had to make a little move there, so I'm going to go ahead and use my spacing gauge, make sure that I'm back on track, which I am, and off we're going to go. And we are done with this portion of it. I will turn it over so you can see it more clearly. But this is a fun one, guys. This is not supposed to be used like this. Okay? Isn't that cool? I'm loving this
Can
design.
we daily deal with these? Other ones just
Yes, daily deal with them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I do not have the link. Hang on 1 second here and I will get that link for you all. It's just going to take me a second here. It is, it's deal day 20. Now, the other thing that we did was I checked with Artisan Curve Sampler Set. Okay. The deal day 20 is good from Monday to Monday. Oh, if I spelled Artisan Curve, it would correctly, it would probably give me the page. Okay, curve marquee, Persian, diamonds, squares, marquee, circles, teardrops, peaks, ovals, iris, and there is the one that I'm looking for. And center down is a little on the slow side tonight, isn't it? Okay, we're going to come here. Then we are going to come here. And there we go. And there is our link. Okay, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to copy that link, come back here, and I am going to paste that link. And there it is. Okay, so I've got the link here for you. Let's take a look. Nancy or Evelyn, I'm sorry, I just put the link in, and if you type in deal day 20, you will get the discount. Okay. Oh, here, I got it in the wrong place. There we go. So wow, it's amazing how your brain works. I don't know if it's amazing or not. We'll have to ask Ken about that. I think sometimes he wishes my brain didn't work. Armetta, thank you so much. Rita, you too. And it is a fun design and it is just a different design. Okay. I know it's kind of weird. It reminds me of one of those fossils. Okay, guys, 7 o'clock. I still have one more design to show you. This one is not going to take long. It is a fun one. We are going to use our oval. And we are going to put it in, this is the design right here. We're going to put it in at 9 inches. So it is the oval number 63. I'm putting it in at 9 inches. And I am going to come and start on reference line number 1 at the bottom. And there we go.
School save the voice.
And line myself up on reference line number 1. You guys are going to love the simplicity of this one. And we're going to stop at the bottom. I'm coming to reference line number 2. Whoops, there we go. And this is where it's much easier if you put that circle in first. Okay, here we go. We're going to repeat. Stop. And we're going to go over to reference line number 3. And repeat. Have you ever seen me stitch this fast, guys? And number 4. And another rotation. Number 5. Another rotation. I love this. I really do. It's this design is kind of a great universal design. Can be used for in a lot of different places. And there we go. Okay. Easy peasy, right? And let's go ahead and take it off and let's cut these threads. We're going to cut that. Very easy design, but we're not done yet. You know me, I'm always going to find something else to put on there. I can take my tack out now. I am finished with my tack for this evening. And this way I won't get hurt on it, which is easy for me to do. So what I've just done is I have just made these ovals. Good enough by themselves, right? But we're going to dress them up just a little bit. And the way we're going to dress them up is with our curved marquee. And we are going to start, do it this way. I'm going to put the center, the horizontal center of my curved marquee over the second oval. I'm going to use my spacing gauge. I'm going to start at the tip of that oval. And there we go, right at the tip of the oval. I'm going to move that curved marquee, making sure that my horizontal center is on reference line number 2. This is reference line number 1. We're going to be putting our template horizontal mark on the even numbered reference lines. We're going to stitch from odd numbered reference line to odd numbered reference line. Now, this should work out that when everything is lined up correctly, you should have a 1/4 of an inch here, which I do. And this is where it's important to look. You want to make sure that your horizontal center is lined up here as well as here. If you don't, what's going to happen is that's going to be in an awkward position and it's not going to meet the tip of your last rotation of ovals. So here we go. And this brings us to the next oval. And again, I'm doing my horizontal center, I'm sorry, on the odd numbered line or the even numbered line, and I'm going to stitch from odd number to odd number. I'm just going to show you one more thing that we can do with this if we want to step it up a little bit. So you see, I'm going to go here. I'm going to stop here at the tip. Now, let's go ahead and just step up the design a little bit. And I'm going to do that by turning the template in. And when this template touches the beginning or the odd numbered reference line, I'm going to stop. I'm going to come out, stop a 1/4 of an inch away, and come back. Okay. And I don't have another oval here, but that's all right. We're just going to go ahead and line everything up and pretend it's there, even though it's not. And look at what happened, guys. I just hit my throat. There we go. Just twist it over. And we're going to pretend that there's an oval there, even if it isn't. Okay. So this is where I came back in on it just to dress it up a little bit. And you can see that just tipping that template and putting an extra little stitch in there makes such a big difference, doesn't it? This is probably the easiest design we've done tonight. Okay. This one was maybe a little more difficult. I think this one, though, wins the prize for most interesting. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's definitely interesting. So these are the things that I have for you tonight with the Artisan curves. I'm going to go ahead and get caught up here on the comments. There we go. Let's take a look where we're at. Okay, back. Jan, Jan asks, I understand that the deal day 20 is good on any of the Artisan rulers, not just the sampler set. Am I right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Go ahead and put it in, and that will tell us which way it works. But you're probably right, Jan. Okay, but I'm just not positive. I don't want to give you guys bad information. Okay. Nancy's been watching me stitch for many, many years, and she's never seen me stitch that fast. You're right, Nancy. I don't. Lee says that she believes it's only on the set I'm showing today. Now, Lee, that rings a bell with me, and I'm thinking that's the way it is. But again, I can't be absolutely positive. So, okay, it's not taking the deal day 20, Evelyn. All right. And Jan says it's not. Okay, I will call first thing in the morning. I know that I sent them all the information, so they should be taking it. Give it a try again tomorrow, okay, ladies? Wow, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happened. Okay. Lee, thank you. They are kind of fun motifs, and they're so different for basically the same set. They're very, very different. Well, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, different ways of looking at them. That's basically just it. I encourage you strongly, go ahead, play with them. Definitely play with them. Lee, the day 20 is when I talked to Stacy this week, she told me it is from Monday to Monday. So we should be good on the deal day 20. If we don't get it in today, that's not a problem. Okay. Suzanne, you are welcome. Welcome beyond belief. So, I hope that you've really enjoyed this. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. And okay, Maureen, I like it. I like it when you guys tell me what you think. This was the second one. Maureen says she likes this one the best. Okay, Charlene says it applies only to the set for today. Okay. So, and I'm kind of thinking that way. And you are more than welcome, everybody. This is so much fun for me. I really, really enjoy it. I love spending my evenings with you and my mornings. Tomorrow morning, we are going to do some fun stuff. I am going to be working with the Starry Night Moons tomorrow. And you've never seen moons the way we're going to do them tomorrow. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to show you the pictures or anything. But man alive, I look at them and I think to myself, I wonder what it'd be like if I were on drugs. And when I did those, it was like, okay, now I know. Even though I'm not on drugs, I don't take drugs. But yeah, I'm really excited about tomorrow. So I hope you're able to be here. So anyway, it looks like we're good on questions and everything. And I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Enjoy this warm weather that everybody's getting because we don't know when it's going to turn cold again. We already have north of us has exceeded 200 inches of snow. We have not where I live. As a matter of fact, with the warm temperatures yesterday, we're almost depleted of snow again, but that's okay. Our big snow month is coming. Our biggest storms are in March. So enjoy that weather. And until we meet again, let's quilt.